Going to Kansas City. If I could, I could, I could, I could. I'm going to Kansas City.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Chopping It Up with the Cleavers. My name is Emmanuel Cleaver III, and I'm here with my little bro.
Man, how you doing?
Come on, we're rolling.
Are you going to do that every week? Just be silly? Don't do that. I'm nobody's little brother, okay?
That's not what the birth certificate says.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, man.
Okay, don't do that anymore.
The
joke is over.
I'm going to do it.
People
hey, tell them who you are and let's go.
Yeah. People told me last week that they were offended by that.
People told me
they were offended.
Good.
No. Okay.
Like,
so my name is Emil Cleaver, and if I wasn't here, this show wouldn't happen because he doesn't know how to do anything.
So each week we drop a new episode on Tuesdays. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Man, I'm talking. Chopping Up with the Cleavers every Tuesday in most places you get your podcast. So this airs. This show will air on November 8th, which is Election Day. And there's a lot going on, some heated races. Here in Missouri, we have a big Senate race. We'll see what happens. But the two races that people are talking about all over the country, of course, is the Senate race in Pennsylvania, where you have John Fetterman and Dr. Oz, a TV show person.
That Oprah introduced to the world.
Right. And then, so Kid Rock called Oprah a fraud after she endorsed, you heard about it?
Yeah.
Endorsed John Fetterman instead of Dr. Oz.
They said they're still friends, though. He understands that her politics is different. And she says they're still friends. They just have different beliefs in politics. But, she doesn't live there, so it's one thing that, your friend is running in one state and you don't live in that state, but you interject to go against your so-called friend.
Yeah, but there's a lot at stake, so I can understand why she did it. There's a lot at stake. Kid Rock, of course, he's gone extremely conservative for a while now. But that's a heated race. So Fetterman got Barack Obama and Joe Biden to campaign for him. Then your boy Trump campaigned for Dr. Oz and then threw some shade at DeSantis in the process. Why do you think that is? Why do you think he threw some shade?
We know that DeSantis is his biggest competition for the Republican nomination.
Yeah, but the fact, man,
I don't think Donald Trump has a chance to win the Republican nomination.
You based off what?
He's just too divisive, I think, even for the Republican Party. I know you have a lot of people that follow him, but you're going to have a lot of people in the Republican Party thinking, okay, he can't win. He can't beat Joe Biden. He can't win. So we need to, obviously we want to keep his supporters happy, but we need to underhandedly give this to somebody else.
How are they going to keep his supporters happy and not endorse him?
I don't know.
But he is. He's bad for this country. He's
bad
dividing
for the world.
He's dividing the Republican Party, and the race for president hasn't even. The nomination for the Republican Party hasn't even started yet. He's throwing shots, and that's what he did last time. But then, of course, people got behind him because they saw the crowds that he had. Even your boy, whose wife is unattractive, got according to him. According to him, he got behind him. So that's another big race. And they're neck and neck. So that's going to be a close one. Then, of course, the other one that is the most ridiculous thing in the history of politics. 1,000 years from now, if Herschel Walker is elected to the Senate, they will be studying about this, not just in the United States. I say 1,000 years from now, if the Earth is still around, but they'll be studying about this in Japan, like what was going on in the minds of people in Georgia. It's a tight. They are. That's going to be a class everywhere around the world. In addition to studying how Donald Trump, they'll be studying him like when Hitler came to power.
Yeah.
It'll be the same thing. But I mean, yeah, they're going to be saying, how did this dude get elected if he gets elected?
Because he can play football.
I know.
He can run fast, and he's muscular, and every man wants to be a football hero, and every woman wants to be with the football hero, and Herschel Walker is that.
Raphael Warnock even says, yeah, if we're on the football field, I mean, there's no competition. He's the man. But if you're talking about doing something with the pencil and paper.
Yeah, and I think pencils and papers are what he's going to be needing in Washington.
Or a laptop. Anything that requires letters and numbers.
Yeah, there's a video of Pastor Jamal Bryant talking about Herschel Walker that's pretty good.
Yeah, that thing went viral because it's the truth. So, of course, on the next episode of Chopping It Up with the Cleavers, we'll be talking about the results of the election. So we'll see if, what I'm hearing is, of course, if the Republicans win the House and the Senate, then they're going to be rolling back a lot of stuff that Biden and the Democrats have done. And if, of course, the Democrats can get a bigger margin in the House and Senate, then, we more stuff might be able to get done. It's going to be it's going to be interesting. So
interesting, and hopefully there won't be a civil war, as some Republicans have said if they didn't win.
Somebody said that and
there's
got
a
in
few.
trouble.
There's
but
a
they
few.
it was somebody and they took a lot of flack for it. So I doubt it was a Republican. It could be.
Republicans have a few of them have said that.
This was a news person. It was one of the news stations said that it could.
No, there are elected officials saying that.
Yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, they're just playing to the extremes of their base,
and of course they can say anything they want, and nothing happens to them.
Well, yeah, who's going to be upset? I mean, that's the way it is. As long as I agree with you.
Well, let me say this while we're talking about saying anything you want and not saying not saying you're sorry. I'm gonna put the camera on me.
All right.
My name is Emil Cleaver, and I want to apologize for all the black men apologizing on national television.
Who apologized?
Man, come on, man. Who apologized? We already know who apologized. Jalen Rose apologized in a statement that he looked like he didn't mean or feel at all.
Oh, yeah, because he said, and now back to the show or something like that.
that he was forced to say.
Well, I watched some of the clip that he apologized. But what is it he is apologizing for?
So he's apologizing for the Boston Celtics coach. They put his name out there.
All right,
and his thing was, well, we need to put the woman's name out there. She's not a minor. It was a consensual relationship. So you need to put the woman's name out there. And of course, ESPN came back, behind the scenes, and I'm sure they said something like, boy.
You think they said that?
Boy, you better get out there and apologize. And that's what he did. He didn't mean it. It was obvious he didn't.
How many times has Skip Bayless apologized for some of the ridiculous things he said?
I don't watch Sports Center,
I don't either.
I've never seen him or heard him have to apologize for anything. Yeah, I don't know. But speaking of apologies, we have Kyrie Irving.
That's the other big news.
Apologizer.
Well, if he wanted to play in the NBA.
Well, he just retired.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, you didn't see that? He retired.
Good.
Yeah, he retired. He announced it today, I guess. He retired.
So now he can say what he really believes.
But I don't think so. For those who don't know, Kyrie Irving, a basketball superstar, posted a documentary called Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. And he posted it on his Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and instantly was criticized because this documentary, I haven't watched it, supposedly has anti-Semitic rhetoric in it. I mean, it says that if it says the Holocaust didn't happen, then it is anti-Semitic rhetoric. From what I've seen on the trailer, it looked like the documentary was one of those, it's 50% truth, 50%, bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it's a Holocaust denying documentary, then yeah, I can't get behind it. But where I am right now, I don't believe people what they say. So somebody said, I read, it's anti-Semitic. Okay. At this point in world history, I don't even know if I can trust your word on it. I'm not going to watch it because I have no interest in watching it anyway. But so what I've been saying is people have said it's anti-Semitic. I'm not going to say it's anti-Semitic because I haven't watched it. So I'm not basing my beliefs and opinions on anybody else. People say it's anti-Semitic. Of course, he took a lot of flack. But here's the other thing. So he apologized, and then Brooklyn Nets said you have to do 6 things before you can come back. So I guess he said I'm not doing those 6 things. It was a lot.
It was.
Yeah, man. It was a lot. Go to sensitivity training, go to counseling, meet with Jewish leaders. There's a bunch of stuff before he could play again.
I don't think that was right for posting the video. I don't think he should have to do all that. They need to have a sit down and talk. And from what I've seen in his interviews, he doesn't seem to have any hate in his heart. He may be a little stubborn and doesn't want to apologize for some of the things, but it doesn't seem like he has any hatred toward any people or religion from what he said. So, I take him at his word.
Yeah, sometimes people just don't know. They might be uninformed. So he didn't, from what I understand, he didn't watch the documentary before he posted.
Right.
That was his mistake. But you look at all the charitable work he's done, and so they just shoot him up and spit him out just like that. He helped WNBA players. He pledged $1 million to help WNBA players so they wouldn't have to go play overseas and do other things. And all the many other charitable things that he's done, fed folk in New York, the hungry. And because he posted it, I think the punishment was severe. Yes, he was wrong. He was wrong for putting up a documentary that he was unaware of, that he didn't know in full what it was about. But, it seems kind of harsh. He took a lot of flack, but your boy Jeff Bezos is still getting paid for it.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos, who owns Amazon, where you can buy the video, where it's now one of the top sellers on Amazon now. So Kyrie Irving posted a video, but Jeff Bezos is making millions off of this video. But I've never heard a news outlet or media outlet say anything about Jeff Bezos or his apology.
So I haven't heard either. Jewish organizations have asked for it to be removed. But yeah, news organizations, the media, they're not coming down as hard on him as they did.
I wonder why.
Let me see. Could it be that one of them is a Negro and the other is a wealthy non-Negro? It's hard it's hard to deny. One just posted it. The other one is making money off of it.
Millions, because it's you see it's a bestseller now. And if it's a bestseller on Amazon, that doesn't mean it's making hundreds and thousands. It's making millions.
And you want to know if people had ignored that tweet, it wouldn't be as popular today. Because the media jumped down his throat. Yeah, you all are the ones who made it go triple platinum.
Yeah, if he had just posted it, nobody said anything. A couple hundred people may have watched it.
So, but yeah, he's getting beat up on. But it seems like lately, a few black celebrities have made what some are calling anti-Semitic remarks and having to apologize and are finding it necessary to apologize. Of course, it was a few years ago. Nick Cannon.
It wasn't a few years ago. It was less than that.
Was it when he had Professor Griff?
Yeah.
On his show.
Professor Griff. Of course, he has the history.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on. When you let him on the show, you should know. Yeah, so there are a few. And Kyrie, but, Kyrie has always, said what's on his mind. One time, he said the earth was flat. But my thing is, I know he's an athlete, he's a celebrity, people listen to him. But at the same time, by now, I think a lot of it he just says.
Well, I think he's exploring. He doesn't want to accept what he's been taught all his life. So he's just looking at different options, and some of those options are crazy. But that's his opinion. He can believe what he wants to believe.
I can't get mad at him if he's saying I'm not going to accept what's just been passed down. Which I don't think any minority, any group that has been oppressed should accept anything that has been passed down. What we've been taught, all those things, because it's just, I don't know that you can trust it. So I'm not mad at him if he's exploring and trying to learn new things. I think that's what we all ought to do. That's what I'm doing. There's this thing called hermeneutic of suspicion when interpreting the Bible, which basically means the Bible has been interpreted and passed down for centuries, thousands of years, and many of us accept that interpretation. And so when we read the Bible, we think that's what it says because that's what we've always been told that it means. So hermeneutics of suspicion says, I'm going to look at every passage of scripture and be like, okay, I know the Bible has been used to oppress black people, women, and exploit Jews. So I'm not going to just accept what's been passed down. And that approach ought to be taken not just with the Bible, but anything. And I think that's what Kyrie's done. Yes, again, he should have watched the documentary before he posted something about it. He probably saw the title. I mean, the title is pretty interesting. Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. That title is something that you would catch a lot of attention. And I would think a lot of people would want to watch it just because of the title.
Yeah, one of the things that I don't like about this situation is the black men that have come to attack Kyrie Irving for his beliefs or whatever. It's like they're caping for their white bosses, in particular, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley always stands up for black people, doesn't he?
No, he does not.
Yeah, I got something to say at the end of the show about him.
Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal, calling him an idiot and all this. I didn't feel that. I don't really have a problem with Shaq but you
didn't say Barkley, you just say that Shaq.
Well, Barkley says a lot of stupid things.
Yes, he does.
A lot of racist things toward black people, even though he is black.
Yes, he does.
But, for them to attack this black man like that, I didn't like it. They were attacking this black man on these white-owned stations, and that's another thing. They just like Jalen Rose, I think their bosses came and said, you hear this man saying this, what are you going to do to keep your job, Barkley?
You think that's how?
What are you going to do to keep your job, Barkley?
I think, but here with the NBA,
Barkley said he's an idiot. Go say it to them. He said,
the boss in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But here's they're in front of the camera. So you ask, what do you think about the Kyrie? You say something like, he probably shouldn't have said it. He didn't know what he was doing. Move on. But to call him,
he probably shouldn't have said it.
Or posted it.
He probably shouldn't have posted it, but that's my brother. We're going to support him. I'm going to talk to him and try to, get him to see the error in his ways. That's what I was getting at. But if you're going to call him, the NBA is supposed to be fraternity. These people know each other. They're in a union together. Although Shaq is retired, it's a small community. There aren't many people walking around the face of this earth
that can say I played in the National Basketball Association.
Right.
So to me, it would have made more sense for you to make the comment like you said, and then pull Kyrie aside and like, hey, you need to really watch what you're doing. What you said was stupid. It was idiotic. It's going to be hard to support. But, just to say it on camera, that
Look, Massa, look what I said about him. I said he's an idiot, Massa.
Well, they have to, man, because both of them have all kinds of endorsements that I'm sure they're not trying to lose. So they have to come out strong. I'm sure somebody told them, whoever it was.
Yeah, it was the boss. It was the boss at
you're
whatever station it is. Come here, boys. Boys, come here.
I bet you it was more than them. I mean, their managers looking at all their endorsements. I mean, look at all that Charles Barkley and Shaquille, all those endorsements they have. They had to come out and say something. The general's insurance ain't going to allow you to stand up there with a cartoon general if you don't come out and say something about what Kyrie said. So
he didn't have to say it that harsh.
No, he didn't have to say it.
He could have said something. I don't agree with it. I don't condone it. But to call the man an idiot on national television, another black man calling another black man. If you want to call him an idiot, go on Roland Martin's show and do it.
That's a hey, man. They ain't going on Roland Martin's show. Come on,
because Roland probably has some questions for them.
Yeah,
especially Barkley. But still, I mean, go on a black platform and do that. Dr. Boyce Watkins go on their show. You're on a television show where mainly white people are watching. And I'm not saying, yeah, I am. Don't be saying that in front of all these people, man. We're supposed to be trying to uplift each other.
Yeah, it's but I mean that's
no more black men apologize. Stop apologizing.
Well, what if they need to apologize?
Man, I don't know.
Sometimes you have to apologize if you
mean it.
Right.
But not if you're forced to apologize.
And you believe they were forced.
Jalen Rose, did you watch the apology? He did not mean that apology. He was forced.
Yeah, that did look forced.
He did not look like he wanted to say that or he meant it.
Yeah, and he had to apologize because the lady that Coach Udoka was involved with was a subordinate. And so, of course, that's why he apologized, said he didn't know that she was a subordinate. And so that's the power dynamics.
Man, she wanted the power. Anyway, that's a different story. You can't just give it just because he's in power and she's not, that it's all his fault.
No, I mean, we didn't know. But the reality is none of us, I mean, some people know. We don't know. I don't know what all happened behind the scenes.
But we know Jalen Rose apologized.
We do know he apologized. But, I mean, he's working for a major corporation. So, I mean, part of it may be that they're afraid. All right, Jalen, you said this. We're going to lose sponsors. We're going to lose viewers unless you come out and correct it. Which goes back to the whole thing that people are, talking about, the cancel culture.
Yeah, which I hate.
That's what it all boils down to. There's this culture. You say something wrong that a group doesn't like, and this group can come out strong against you, and you can be canceled. So it is. I mean, that's what boils down to. I mean, some people you can't cancel. They're too big, too powerful. Like Ye. I mean, people have canceled him. There's still millions upon millions of people that feed off of everything he said and does.
Well, now he's coming back to the black community. So, we'll see what happens. Black people are forgiving. We're a forgiving people. But he needs some mentors before we can take him back. You got to keep such and such with you at all times.
Paid psychologist.
Yeah, I mean, somebody.
Well, the same thing happened with OJ. He tried to come back. But the black folk, I mean, they didn't embrace him. When he got off for murder And then, of course, he stole his. I'm talking about this a little later, but he tried to appeal to the black folk because you remember his first interview was on BET with Ed Gordon, and Ed Gordon almost got him because OJ. You remember that interview? OJ said, "No." Ed Gordon was like, "There's only one person who actually knows what happened," and there was a little pause. And then OJ's like, no, the killer out there knows. Because Ed Gordon was implying that OJ is the only one who knows what actually happened. So he didn't take it light on him, but black folk didn't embrace OJ.
Nah, he was too far gone.
Yeah, he had been gone too long.
Yeah.
And then, you could tell that it wasn't really sincere.
Yeah, he hasn't been gone that long.
No.
So he still has a chance to be invited back to the barbecue.
Possibly. Yeah, he could because he still has some friends who are still a part of the barbecue.
Yeah.
And
a lot of them.
Yeah. And so some have spoken up for him. Some, still have some issues with him. He does have to answer. Maybe not to the general public, but if there's a trusted person we can send and say, okay, I had a conversation with Yates, talked for several hours. I think he's back on the right track. And then maybe we could invite him back to the barbecue. But he has to be endorsed by the right person.
Yeah, has to be.
Can't be Jason Whitlock or Candace Owen or anybody like that. Somebody that's well respected.
Yeah, I don't mean he would have to actually do a lot more than just say they say he was back, because him saying slavery was a choice, and George Floyd died of fentanyl overdose, and you can't just come back from that.
He's got to give some money to some black colleges.
Yeah, he got to do a lot. He has to do a lot of that.
Yeah. Well,
Kyrie, you maybe need to go overseas. You're still young, can still play.
And he's. I think he will go down right now as the greatest ball handler in NBA history.
Nobody in NBA is going to give him that.
I've been reading. Well, before all this, people were already saying it.
Yeah, but right now they are going to try to erase Kyrie Irving from every single record or accomplishment that he ever made from the books. Man, they don't want to have anything to do with Kyrie. They're trying to erase his record like the UFC did Frank Shamrock.
Yeah. But if you ever see any videos, you'll clearly see. There's nobody that has had handles.
Yeah, his handles were
NBA
unbelievable.
Like Kyrie. It is something. Poetry and really unstoppable. But we'll see. It probably will tarnish his chance to make it to the Hall of Fame. Yeah. But even what he's done so far, there are people who have done far less who are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, him making the Hall of Fame has nothing to do with what he's done on the court. It has to do with what he just did. Yeah, I think so. Him not taking the COVID shot.
Yeah,
I think that's his reason for not being in the Hall of Fame is all political.
Yeah, because you can't deny him on the court. You just can't deny him on the court. So it's sad that the NBA, NFL, they do stuff like that they'll hold people off just because of what they did outside of the court, or outside of the playing field.
Yeah.
But for a lot of folk, we know Kyrie was a baller, and he said some stuff that didn't make sense, and perhaps did some things that didn't make sense. But on the court, you can't deny that. Can't deny that man. When was he still in high school or something where he challenged Kobe Bryant? He just had confidence.
Yeah, I think he had just graduated from high school or something. But anyway, we need to stop persecuting Kyrie, reach out to him, try to educate him. We need to go after Jeff Bezos.
Hey, please.
But nobody's going to stop buying stuff on Amazon.
Nope. As we're speaking now, people are listening and buying stuff.
People
on
are
Amazon.
mad at Jeff Bezos, but they're still buying Amazon because it's so convenient.
That's it.
Can't beat him. Can't beat him. That's why he can do and say whatever he wants.
And but I think the media. I'm going to say them
Yeah, the media.
because yeah, I mean they're the ones not going after him. But then they want him to do advertisements on the network where they air.
Yeah, that's true. Got him.
It is power.
Yeah.
When you're the wealthiest, well, he's not the wealthiest. Elon Musk.
Yeah, well,
Neither one of them. Yeah, neither one of them probably the wealthiest.
The richest person in the world is somebody that doesn't even
Right.
want you to know they're
Right.
the richest person in the world.
Right. So yeah, they. But someone who's worth over $100 billion, it's going to be hard to shut him down. I mean, what can you do? Especially when everyone in the world wants to use what he provides.
It's convenient.
You drive down your neighborhood right now, you'll see a bunch of brown boxes on people's steps. I mean, for real. So he feels like he can say what he wants. And there was another wealthy white gentleman who did that. His name was Donnie Trump. And, we saw what happened to them. Although we know he doesn't have the money he said he has, which is why he didn't want to release his taxes. It's like, oh, you're not really a billionaire.
Yeah, he's probably not.
And to show that, his involvement with business in Russia as well. I'm assuming, but I would be willing to bet. I'm not a gambler, but I'd be willing to bet he's not a billion. He doesn't have as much money as he says he does.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. So I remember years ago, before we saw how crazy he was when he ran for office, Forbes put out, they put out the wealthiest people, and then he put out something saying that he has more money than what Forbes estimated him to have. I think Forbes said he had like $3 billion, and he said he was worth more than around $10 billion. So, well, show us.
Yeah,
so
that's all
show
you
it,
can do.
and he didn't do it. So there you go. But again, circling back, make sure you check us out. A week from now, we're going to talk about the elections. Hopefully, Americans made the right choice. I mean, some of the choices are so obvious. It's ridiculous.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. We will see what happens with the election, but also, some people saying that we need all these black men to stop apologizing,
Please,
for everything.
Stop.
You don't
Stand
mean
by
it.
what you said.
Yeah, that's true. If you believe what you said, if you believe what you said is wrong, then okay, come back and apologize. But if you're just being forced to it, stand up for what you believe in. It's not like you're gonna go broke. Well, you might go broke. I don't know, but stand up for what you believe in. And again, before someone tries to cancel us, I think Kyrie was wrong for posting about a documentary that he had not seen, and that people are saying has anti-Semitic images and stuff in there. But at the same time, this is how I want to wrap it up. At the same time, I think the punishment he got was too harsh. I do. And so some of you might disagree with that.
Yeah.
He just posted a documentary. He didn't post the doc. He just posted the name of it. And now he's getting beat up. How many other people have posted things and survived it and not had the backlash? There have been a lot of folk who have dressed up in blackface that are still thriving in the entertainment industry right now. There's one who just flat out said he hoped his girlfriend got raped by a pack
That old male
of Negroes.
Lethal
And he's still
Weapon.
making movies.
Yeah, old Lethal Weapon male.
He's still making movies with black folk. Mm-hmm. I just saw a new movie he has coming out.
Yeah, he's powerful.
The punishment should be this. All I'm saying is it's fair. If everybody got punished the way Kyrie got punished, okay, I couldn't say anything about it. But that's not the case. It's not the case at all, and it's obvious. So, and all those NBA players that feel need push to bash Kyrie in the media. I mean, don't do that. Just talk to him. You all are in the same fraternity, the NBA fraternity. Just have a conversation.
Barkley,
with him.
come on.
Have a conversation with him.
LeBron even said something. He could have just said no comment.
Do it. I know he didn't come out as harsh as.
No, he didn't come out that harsh.
Yeah. So, but then I would also say, as people are saying that, make sure that the documentary really is anti-Semitic. Don't take anybody else's word for it. So I don't think you can bash Kyrie unless you know for a fact that it is anti-Semitic, which I don't. I mean, people say it's not, but again, my thing is he shouldn't have posted it if he hasn't seen it. So there we have it. But since we're talking about Kyrie and people saying and doing some things, we thought we'd do a top 5 list today of 5 of the dumbest things that athletes have said or done.
I just put what they said.
Okay.
So let me go first. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Excuse me. All right, number 5. So some of these things are really stupid. There's a lot of stupid things athletes said, but these 5 are pretty big. Number 5, black culture is something I don't relate to much at all. Dennis Rodman. Now, Dennis Rodman is a black man.
If you didn't know.
If you didn't know. And he said, black culture is something I don't relate to much at all. Well, Dennis, American culture is pretty much stolen from black culture. So you know a little bit about it, dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little offended by that. I'm sorry. Number 4, God created the sun, the stars, the heavens and the earth, and then made Adam and Eve. The Bible never says anything about dinosaurs. You can't say they were dinosaurs when you never saw them. Someone actually saw Adam and Eve. No one ever saw Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is former MLB player Carl Everett. Now that's...
Well, Carl.
No one ever saw Adam and Eve.
Yeah. The Bible also doesn't mention elephants or rhinoceroses. So are we supposed to believe because the Bible doesn't mention those things that they're not real? Come on.
This is just hardcore conservative thinking. So number 3, this is a stupid statement. I'd be willing to bet you if I was a betting man that I never bet on baseball. Who do you think that is?
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose. Come on. Pete Rose was suspended permanently for baseball.
Bam.
For betting on baseball. He's not in the Hall of Fame, even though he deserves to be,
Yeah,
because he betted on baseball. He said, I'd be willing to bet you if I was a betting man that I never bet on baseball. Pete, you bet on baseball. I think that's pretty much been proven. So, number 2 is another Dennis Rodman quote. Kim Jong-un is a great guy. He loves basketball, and he's interested in building trust and understanding through sports and cultural exchanges. Dennis Rodman, you dummy. This man is a murderer, a dictator who would send nukes all over the world if he wanted. And you think because he pats you on the head like you were his pet monkey that he's a nice guy? Come on, man.
You remember when he took that group of old NBA ex-players over there to play, and they got beat? Because I'm like, they had to lose. I mean,
They had to
come
lose.
on, man. Come on.
Yeah, they had to lose. Number 1 is really controversial and really funny. Let me see my first sentence of this. Let me see if you can guess who it is. My style is impetuous.
Yeah.
My style is
Tyson.
impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat your children. Praise be to Allah.
That is crazy. Praise be to Allah. Does Allah Does Allah allow the eating of children?
No, I don't think that Allah does. Or no form of Allah allows eating children. I mean, nothing was wrong with that statement if you're just a boxer.
Right.
You're just a boxer, that's fine. But once you started saying praise be to Allah after that, Mike Tyson, it's a wrap. It's ridiculous, and your statement has to be offensive to Muslims, even people who aren't Muslims.
To every human being.
Every human being that believes in some sort of higher power. So that's my top 5. Mike Tyson, number 1.
All right. Most of mine aren't sayings, but some things that dumb athletes have said. One was Hubert Davis when he was hired as the first black coach of North Carolina basketball. He played in North Carolina, and then he was hired as the coach after Roy Williams. And when he was doing the press conference, he says, "I'm very proud to be African American, but I'm also very proud that my wife is white."
Yes.
That seems strange. I mean, I'm not saying, okay, I'm not saying you shouldn't be happy that your wife, who you're married to, don't mistake that. But people were bringing up the significance of him being the first black coach of this historic program. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, he felt that it was necessary not to highlight that, but that he's proud that his wife is white. If your wife is white, that's fine. Yeah. There's no big deal.
Well, let me tell you what happened.
Okay. Come on.
They were at home, and his wife said, "They're making such a big deal about you being a colored, and you need to make something to let them know that your wife is white."
Man, she didn't. No.
Yeah, she did. Yes, she did. You need to tell the world that you're not married to a black woman. You're not married to an African. You're married to a white woman. Now tell them that.
You think? Okay. I don't know. Like, again, if the fact that he's married to a white woman, that's fine. But it just seems strange when the focus was on the first, him being a historic hire as the first coach, black coach of North Carolina. Another one where it is this. And you probably don't know who said this. The notion that white cops are out there just killing black people. That's ridiculous. We, as black people, we got a lot of crooks. There's a reason they racially profile us at times. Sometimes it's wrong, but sometimes it's right.
I don't know. Who said that?
Charles Barkley.
No. Okay. There you go.
Charles Barkley said that after the Ferguson incident.
Yeah, and he's from, what, Alabama?
Yes.
Oh, Charles Barkley.
That was pretty a terrible statement.
Yeah, that may be one of the worst statements of any sports figure.
Yeah. And if I should have done just what people said, but I looked up, what people had, some things that they had done. So my 3, 2, and 1 are people that, that kill folk. Athletes that kill people. But some of them were completely dumb in the way they do it. One, so I'll highlight. So you got Aaron Hernandez, football player, who killed 2 people, buried them in the basement, had him in, I think, in his basement. But here's another dumb statement. It's not a direct quote. I'm gonna put this. Well, let me just say another dumb thing an athlete did when Plexico Burress shot himself in a club because he tucked his gun into his sweatpants waistband. So the question I'm asking, who's wearing sweatpants into a club? But anyway, yeah. But here's what I have. Number 1, dumbest thing said and done, and that's your boy OJ.
OJ. I'm not black. I'm OJ.
That was probably that was dumb. But the fact that the documentary that he made once he was found not guilty, everything he said on that was stupid. To show, of course, no one did. I saw bits and pieces of it, but he went back and showed how it couldn't have been him that did it. And it was the dumbest thing that I think anyone has all throughout the documentary had to be done. I saw some of the things. He's standing by the fence, and Damon Wayans, remember, did jokes about it. He was like, "You see this fence right here? How with my bad knees could I get over this fence?" And then Damon Wayans pretends to jump over the fence, saying, I mean, that he goes to the documentary just to show that he didn't do it. But after you watch the documentary, from people who I know have seen it, you're like, yeah, man, he did that. He did it. The other thing, of course, is when he went and robbed someone from the sports parent. So, but still, I guess he didn't feel it was necessary to get an attorney, and that's why if he didn't get off for killing 2 people, he wouldn't have gone to prison for that. I don't think.
Yeah.
But the fact that he got off for killing Nicole Smith and the other guy.
He went to prison for 9 years for that.
Yeah, he didn't go to prison for that.
Harsh.
He didn't go to prison for that, man.
For that, yes.
Yeah, he didn't go to prison for that. He went for some other reasons. So I'm pretty much saying OJ is the one who said the dumbest things that have ever been said because he tried to prove his innocence and tried to come back to black folk, but black folks still haven't invited him to the barbecue. Some honorable mentions of some things that people have said. I mean, when Mike Tyson, after a fight, he talked about how he broke his back in training.
I broke my back.
Mike Tyson,
what?
Mike, you look good. You just won the fight, first round knockout. But you're telling us that your back is broken?
That was a crazy interview. The interviewer was like, "What?"
Yeah, you can't forget the broken back incident. And I'm sure there are some other ones out there. One day we have to do the 5 best things that athletes have said, or the coolest, or the way they challenge. And of course, Allen Iverson's at the top of everybody's list.
What he challenged.
I mean, yeah, the whole practice thing, man. You're going to come to me? This is a press conference. You're going to talk to me about practice in a press conference? I mean, think about it. I mean, that was crazy. So maybe the 5, because if you look some of the interviewers, have you seen the clips of athletes who went off on reporters because they asked stupid questions?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. Yeah. I don't know about the clip you're talking about, but I've seen it.
No, I mean, there's a bunch of them. So
yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, but let us know what you think. I'm sure we missed a lot of folk athletes who have said some outrageous things that were just plain stupid. You can't sugarcoat it. There's no politically correct way of saying it. They just said something dumb. So let us know what you think. I know there are a lot out there. Every Tuesday,
be sure to subscribe.
We drop a new episode, Chopping It Up with the Cleavers. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go back and check out a lot of the other episodes that we have. A lot of good content. Most places you get your podcast, you can check us out. But subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about election stuff. Because I'm sure a lot will have happened. So
see you next week.
Peace.
I come, that's where I'm from. I say, don't go ahead.